Welcome to Top 10 News. We will talk about top 5 freaky urban legends hidden in songs. Subscribe button, like and share. Number 5. The Black Plague. Ring Around the Rosie. Most people remember Ring Around the Rosie as a simple playground nursery rhyme. But according to legends, this song contains direct references to one of humanity's darkest periods. Its origin dates to 1347 to 1350, when an estimated 25 million people died from bubonic plague. Critics disagree, indicating that it was only in 1881 that Ring Around the Rosie first appeared in print. Still, the words from the song are strikingly relevant if put in the context of the Black Plague. 6. The Ring Around the Rosie refers to one of the first signs of the bubonic plague. A reddish ring surrounding a rosy bump in the skin. At that time, people believed that the epidemic was airborne and that putting posies, flowers, incense, or scented oils into someone's pocket would help neutralize the foul air. The third line, ashes, ashes, is said to be an imitation of the sneezing sound. Again, this is strangely accurate, as sneezing and coughing are two of the fatal final symptoms of bubonic plague. The final statement obviously refers to the massive death toll caused by the epidemic. So, is it really an ode to the Black Plague? Turns out, there are a gazillion versions of the song existing today. Some of them, including William Wells Newell's 1883 version, even lack the last two phrases linking to the Black Plague. Whether or not the creepy version of the song predates the rest is still unknown. Subscribe button, like and share. Number 4. The Kleenex Curse. It's a Fine Day. Released in 1983, It's a Fine Day is a classic song written by Edward Barton in collaboration with his then-girlfriend Jane Lancaster. It's basically a feel-good song popularized by a Kleenex commercial that aired in Japan in the mid-1980s. Looking back, the ad was something you wouldn't expect from a company selling tissues. It featured a red baby demon sitting alongside a beautiful actress, later identified as Keiko Matsuzaka. They played the English and probably the creepiest version of It's a Fine Day in the background, something that only some Japanese audience members could understand. Soon enough, a very dark urban legend was born. Rumor has it that local TV stations received multiple complaints from people who found the commercial too disturbing. Some even claimed that It's a Fine Day originated from a German folk song and possessed a demonic curse. Other stories are even more unforgiving. Supposedly, by nighttime, the voice in the commercial would suddenly change into a raspy version of an older woman and bring bad luck to anyone who heard it. The people directly involved in the commercial were not spared either. After the initial airing, all the staff and actors purportedly met unfortunate fates one by one. For instance, the actor who portrayed the baby ogre died from a sudden organ failure. Depending on the version of the story, Keiko Matsuzaka either ended up in a mental institution or hanged herself. Other stories claim that Matsuzaka is still alive today but gave birth to a strange, demonic infant. Subscribe button, like and share. Number 3. Hungarian Suicide Song. Gloomy Sunday. We're all familiar with depressing songs driving some people crazy. The premise is the same for Gloomy Sunday, except that it is deadlier than all other melancholy songs combined. Its original Hungarian version, Somorú Vasárnap, was written by composer Rezső Szerez and lyricist Laszlo Javer. The song tells the story of a depressed woman who is thinking of ending her life after the loss of her lover. Upon release, the song was moderately successful. It wasn't until 1936 that it gained sudden notoriety. The Budapest Police Department reported at least 18 suicides directly linked to Gloomy Sunday. One of the fatalities was shoemaker Joseph Keller. According to reports, his suicide note included the lyrics of the song. Other victims listened to the song either from a recording or a gypsy band before taking their own lives. Although no known suicide related to Gloomy Sunday has been recorded in the U.S., as many as 200 cases worldwide were linked to the song's disturbing contents. Most of the victims were young jazz fans who allegedly went into deep depression after listening to Billie Holiday's 1941 rendition. Another story tells of how Javer's breakup with his girlfriend inspired him to write the song. Sadly, the girl ended up poisoning herself and left a note with only 2 words, "Gloomy Sunday." Rochoseras was not spared from the curse. In 1968, he jumped to his death from his Budapest apartment allegedly due to his failing career. He was 68 years old. Number 2. Game of Death. Kagome, Kagome, circle U, circle U. Kagome, Kagome is a nursery rhyme usually sung in a popular Japanese children's game. By simply looking at the lyrics, one can conclude that Kagome, Kagome is one of the most cryptic songs ever written for children. Several interpretations were made to explain its origin. Most involve grim details ranging from murder to a bloody treasure hunt. In one story, the bird in a cage is seen as a direct reference to a prisoner waiting to be executed. The evening of the dawn has been interpreted as the Dawn Patrol, a person assigned to escort convicted prisoners on their final walk. Another version claims that Kagome is derived from Kagome, pregnant woman. Legend has it that during the time the song was written, an unborn child, that is, the bird in a cage, was seen as a threat to in-laws greedy for an inheritance. So they either pushed the mother down the stairs or used other methods to forcibly abort the baby. One of the most compelling interpretations, however, reveals that Kagome holds the clues to finding a lost Tokugawa treasure. In February 1867, Prince Mutsuhito replaced the Tokugawa clan to become the new emperor of Japan. However, for the new empire to rebuild, it had to depend on the gold reserves stored in the government's vault. Too late, they discovered that all the treasure was gone. Oguri Tadamasa, a former finance governor of the Tokugawa clan, purportedly buried the treasure. Unfortunately, he was beheaded during the fall of Edo, taking all the secrets to his grave. 9. Kagome suggests that the treasure might be buried somewhere in Nikko Toshog Shrine. Despite excavation attempts, no link to the Tokugawa treasure has been found yet. Number 1. The Michigan Dogman. The legend. As part of a 1987 April Fool's Day celebration, DJ Steve Cook of WTCM-FM radio wrote a song called The Legend. As the goal was to intrigue his listeners, he wrote the lyrics by fabricating a story of a half-man, half-dog monster roaming the Michigan forests. He even added fascinating details such as a 7-year interval between reported Dogman sightings, written in a traditional Native American style. The ballad hit the airwaves just in time for the holiday. However, Cook later found out that the joke was really on him. After playing the song, the WTCM-FM radio station received an overwhelming number of phone calls. The majority of the callers shared their own chilling tales of encountering a real dogman, although most eyewitnesses didn't know what to call it at first. The bizarre creature they had once encountered shared the same description as that of Cook's fictional dogman. Such was the case with Robert Fortney, a resident of Cadillac, Michigan, whose first and last dogman encounter dated back to the late 1930s. Fortney described the humanoid creature as a huge, black canine with slanted, evil eyes and the hint of a grin. 10. Another notable encounter happened in Big Rapids, Michigan, during summer 1961. One night, a man was sitting on a porch across from the manufacturing plant where he worked as a night watchman. At exactly 3 a.m., he saw the frightened,